Hey there you guys, welcome back. It is time to do another update on the backyard. We're sitting here by the Thailand giant, which is starting to get a little bit bigger. Hasn't really been a warm summer so far. It's warm today, but nighttime temperatures have been really low. Maybe 14 degrees Celsius, 12 degrees Celsius. Sometimes it's even been below 10 degrees Celsius. So for these tropical plants, it doesn't really do very well for them. So it's really slowing down the growth rate. So later on I will let you know on the Plants and Things What's Growing page. I'll take a tape measure and take a picture of how long these leaves are, or this one, the newest leaf. I'm gonna say we're probably around 30 inches. I'm not sure, but I'll let you know. It's just a guess. Usually by now they're quite a lot bigger. Usually they're around 3 feet, 3.5 feet long. And it's usually getting a little bit closer to the top of the fence. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's check out all the plants. I've got a beautiful gentian over here that's doing the best it's ever done. Beautiful blue flowers. The dahlia is looking pretty good. My inset banana, the red one, looking spectacular. It's as big as it's ever been. It's doing wonderful. Again, that's the one that we did the propagation project where we did the corm division. And my plumeria has a inflow growing. Oh, there's lots happening. Anyway, let's get to it. So let's actually start with a panoramic of the yard. We've got the water lotus there. We've got I don't know that you can see right here. We've got the date palm seedling. The other date palm seedling isn't doing so well. It's got a little Hoya growing in there. And these pots that are sitting here are all the freesias that were supposed to grow. The bulbs still look fine, but the freesias aren't growing. We've got the bougainvillea, which is pretty well done flowering for the moment. So later on today I'm going to prune that back, and I will make a video of that. Let's just do a pan around of the yard. As you can see, there's the red inset banana there. Got the hanging baskets. This hanging basket just yesterday looked like hell. It got forgotten watering or something, and it was so wilted, it was gross. I'm actually surprised they came back, it was so wilted. There's the Thailand giant. We've got the banana planter right here with the beautiful petunias. And we got some more hostas and whatnot. And there is the beautiful plumeria. So anyway, let's get a closer look on some of these plants, and we'll start on this side. This is the Amorphophallus konjac. It's doing really well. I'm going to say that it's about 3 feet tall. We've got 1, 2, 3 small plants, and then the big mama plant. And down in the base here, I don't know what you can see in there, there's actually some more little baby bulbs growing. I have this cute little lily of the valley. It's a variegated form of lily of the valley. Sandy, a new friend of mine who lives in the Ottawa region, she was kind enough to give me one of these. I've been looking for one of these variegated forms of lily of the valley for quite some time. These don't grow nearly as quickly as a regular lily of the valley, so it's a nicer addition. It's not going to be invasive. So we'll keep you posted on this one. Hopefully it grows well. I will plant it in the ground in the next couple of days. I didn't want to plant it after she dug it up and put it in this pot, and I just wanted it to adjust itself, acclimate, and then I will plant it in the ground very soon. I've moved one of my irises down to a more sunny location. The iris used to be behind this crazy tree peony that's doing nicely, but it never flowers. I might end up digging it out. I toy with that every year, but I love the flowers. The flowers are gigantic. They're about 10 or 12 inches wide. It flowered once for me, and never again. So I will probably end up digging it out and giving this valuable piece of real estate to something that actually wants to flower for me. So here is the dahlia. We didn't talk about this the last episode, so this time we will for sure. This one is called Smarty. It's got a beautiful flower. The flowers are a mix. They've got white and they've got magenta in there, and every flower is a little bit different. I think that it's a really interesting an interesting flower because no two are the same. So what you got to do with dahlias is remember to deadhead them. You want to take off the spent flowers, and they will in turn continue to bloom all the way till frost. And as I do a little bit of maintenance here with you guys, I've got a Sonetti that's doing okay. I'm very unimpressed with these this year. It's my first year growing them. This is actually the best looking one of the bunch. The other ones look like they're pretty well dead. I ended up taking out the columbine that was here, but I have a bunch of columbine seedlings. I'm not sure. I'm toying with the idea of just pulling them out. The columbine was a little bit too big for the yard, but we'll see how it goes. I got 2 new varieties of hosta while I was in Ottawa. Here's one that's called Pure Heart. It's a dwarf hosta. I think this one's supposed to get 2 or 4 inches tall. And then we got a cherry baby back in the back that has beautiful red stems. Really enjoy that one. Over here we have Tradescantia. I think this one's called Spider Wart, the plant name. Anyway, it's in the Tradescantia family. Every morning it's got beautiful blooms, and then when the sun hits them, they shrivel up. So they're kind of like a morning glory. We've got some anemones. The anemones are doing really, really nice. This is a beautiful purple variety. Sorry, they're being really washed out by the sun. I should have done this in the evening. There's a pretty one there. I've got the miniature roses that are doing really nice. Need to come out here and prune these ones away. They used to be a beautiful pink, now they're a washed out pink. So I'll trim off all these old ones and we'll get some new growth and get some more buds. And then this one here is the red one with the white splashes. I really enjoy this one. I'll get rid of this flower because it's all faded and yucky. Back here is an Easter lily. These are Lilium longifolium. Somebody jinxed me by saying, wow, I can't believe you don't have any lily beetles. It appears that I have lily beetles. So whoever that was that said, oh my god, you're so lucky to not have lily beetles, thank you. I will blame you instead of blaming myself. So here is the red Enset banana. It's almost to the top of the fence, which is incredible. And we've got the Jackmani clematis that is looking beautiful right now. It's one of my favorite clematis because it seems to be prolific all the way till frost. So it will continue to bloom and look beautiful for a long time to come. I'm out of breath. I've been talking too much. So this is a daylily variety. This is called Pandora Box, or Pandora's Box. And I really like it. It's supposed to be a reblooming variety, but I don't see that there's more flower spikes coming up. So it might just be a prolonged bloom rather than a rebloom. There is some Liatris, or Blazing Star, the white variety. A little bit of trivia. This is, I do believe, the only flower that flowers on the the newest buds first, and then works its way to the oldest. So it produces a flower spike, and it starts blooming at the top, and then the flower will progressively go down the stem. Usually they will flower on the oldest stuff first and go up to the newest. So that's pretty interesting trivia. The hanging baskets, they're looking really, really good. As I said before, it would only take a couple more days before they really started to put out color, and they're starting to do a lot more blooms right now. Thank goodness. I don't want to look like a liar. I know that a lot of you are following my technique and having great success, so I really like to hear that. The gazanias aren't doing very well this year. Last year they were loaded with blooms. This year not so much. We get a lot of leaves and they're not looking so great. This is a type of plant, I can't remember what it's called. I think they called it Joey or something. I really enjoyed it. It's an annual that seems to self-seed in every one of my pots. But I love the leaves, and the flowers are a little teeny pink flower with a little ball, seed ball that comes on. Really, really cute, and I really like it. I don't rip these out. Maybe if I had hundreds of them I would, but the way that they self-seed, it's really appreciated. I got another anemone right here, looking really nice, right next with a pretty pansy. I haven't really been looking after my pansies this year, so they're not as stunning as they normally would be. But it's been a busy season, so I haven't had the time. I've got a lot of things that have been self-seeding as well, like this lady's mantle, and I've got some geraniums. This is the first year that we haven't laid more mulch down, and in that I've been getting a lot of volunteers growing. So normally I would rip these things out, but I think I'm going to save these and give them to friends as they make their new gardens. Back here is a new fern. This is a tassel fern, so I'm excited to see how this grows. This is it reminds me of a tropical type of fern. It's very leathery and it's fuzzy along the stem. So when that starts to look a little bit better, I'll keep you posted. Again, really interesting. I think in time it produces babies along its stem, so I'll keep you posted on that, like I said. So here is the gentiane. Let's see if I can get in a shadier spot here where the blue will pick up a little bit better. I hope it's picking up. I don't think it is. It's very vibrant. It looks a little washed out here, but these gentianes are absolutely stunning. It's like a painting. I would not trade those for the world. The only thing that I notice is they're a rambling variety. So the root system is right here, and all of the flowers are all along the outer edge. So maybe next year what I'll try to do is have like a little ring, like a rose or a peony ring or something, and place it in the center, and then it will maybe hold them up a little bit rather than them all being along the ground. But either way, it looks really pretty. As long as it stays within the confines of the garden bed, I don't really care. The second it starts to encroach onto the lawn, then we'll have to prune, and then it won't look so nice. So anyway, that's quite beautiful. The August moon, I think it's August. It's a half moon or a full moon, I can't remember. Japanese maple looking really neat. We get the Japanese beetle that's been munching away on the leaves. The leaves never seem to look good at this time of the year. Got some sort of a leaf miner thing happening going on there. Behind it we've got a toad lily. I will have to move this toad lily because it is just getting so big and just looks weedy in behind the Japanese maple, so I'll have to figure out a new place for that. This plant here, I'm not sure what it's called. I can't remember. I bought it from a seed company and planted it, and yeah, I can't remember. So if you know what this one's called, let me know. The flower is pretty. It gets to be about 3 feet tall, maybe 4 feet tall. Just beautiful in the fall. This is the basket that I let dry out way too much. To be quite honest with you, I'm surprised that it's even coming back. It must have had a really healthy root system. It was really wilted, like to the point where I wanted to cry. I had to come back and water it like 6 times because the water wasn't going into the soil. I had to really soak it. Here is a evening primrose. This one usually gets eaten by the Japanese beetle, but this one has not been touched. Absolutely beautiful. It's very striking. I don't know whether it's going to pick up on camera, but it's a very electric yellow. Just you can't miss it in the garden. Absolutely beautiful. And the flowers are huge. When the flowers are open, they're between 4 and 5 inches across. So a really nice addition to a garden. And it seems to grow really well. Again, Japanese beetles are massacring the leaves, but I don't know. I don't think there's anything I could do about that. I do come out with my home and garden raid and try to kill them, but they are like impossible. Here is one of my favorite plants. It's a European ginger. Sorry for hitting the camera. It's a European ginger. I don't know that there's any flowers going on in here. They've got a really neat small flower. Very unimpressive, but very interesting. I love the glossy leaves on this, and this has been self-seeding through my garden, which is very welcome. I love this. I've got some hostas in bloom, and as you saw in some photos on my Plants and Things What's Growing page, I've got the clematis growing in and amongst the Thailand giant. This clematis isn't growing as well as the other side because I don't have any Jack Manny in there. But let's get a little bit closer to this this clematis. I love the petals on this one. Absolutely delicate. Beautiful plant. Got a bunch of spider webs growing up in there. Yuck. So let's get my hand in here to show you the scale of this plant. It's really big. So, and some of you are asking about the flowers on the Thailand giant. The Thailand giant is a very prolific bloomer. I usually take them off because if you leave the blooms on, it can slow the growth of the plant. And with Thailand giant, you kind of want to have the big leaves rather than the flowers. So this year I'm going to leave the flowers because I want to see if we can grow them from seed. So we'll see how that goes. But they flower all the time. Got a bunch of other things back in here. There's some geranium seedlings and whatnot. Bunch of hostas. Here's the Blatilia orchid, Blatilia striata. It hasn't started blooming yet. I had an issue with raccoons coming and digging stuff up, and I thought that it killed the baby that was growing off to the side, but the baby is still alive, thank goodness. But still no blooms. We'll keep you posted on that one. Keep watching the Plants and Things What's Growing page, because I'm sure you'll get a photo update of that rather than a video update right away. Got a frosted mouse ears hosta. Planted that right next to the blue mouse ears hosta. Absolutely love the mouse ear varieties. Really cute. I love the thick, heavy leaves of this plant. And here is a baby European ginger. Absolutely beautiful. In Europe, do they call this just a ginger, or is it still a European ginger there? I know that we have a Canadian ginger that's native. We just call that wild ginger. So maybe you can let me know. Got a Helleborus here. The flowers have been finished for quite some time, so now they're a green color, but they still hang on. I think I'm going to get rid of this plant. It's getting in the way of other things that are growing much better. Oh, and here we have, this is a voodoo lily. Oh, I can't remember the name of this one, but it's a type of voodoo lily. Maybe I'll find the description of it and put it in the comments, not quite sure. Very common one. I've shown it before. This is August Moon hosta, one of my favorites. I love the golden tinge to the leaves. It's growing really well. Got a lot of flowers on it right now. And another hosta. Not sure what this variety is, but this one looks like it's getting a little bit too much sun. It's got a little bit of a sun-kissed look to it. It still looks pretty, but it looks like it needs a little less sun. There is the boxwood bonsai. I did a pruning video, but then I thought it would be a little bit boring to see. So I'll show you what this looks like now. It's been trimmed way back, so this is your update. I might still post the other video, but I've got to figure out how to make it exciting. It really wasn't exciting. I kind of rushed through it. So let's go behind me. It's really bright back here. I have this pot that used to be on the patio table, and it's got some bromeliads in it, and we've got this foxtail fern and some oh, I can't remember the names. These beautiful blue flowers. I love these. Not Brawalia, it's something different. It looks like here, if you look close, it looks like the bromeliad's trying to put out a bloom. This is the first time I've ever had a bromeliad flower for me. So that's a fantastic thing. Hopefully it is a flower and not death. Hopefully it's not just dying on me. So anyway, back to the tour. We've got this plumeria pot that had these purple shamrocks in it. These shamrocks just took over. I wanted there to be more petunias, but the petunias seem to be second fiddle to these shamrocks, which is nice. The shamrocks are quite beautiful. They really fill in the pot nicely. And then we look up for the beautiful foliage of the plumeria. Let's check this out. I don't see any inflows on these ones here, but it's this section right here that has the inflow. Can you see it right there? So hopefully soon we'll have some flowers. I know that it takes some time before these inflows get big enough to bloom, but fingers crossed that we can see that this season. So now we're almost done here. This is the hibiscus. I keep meaning to do a pruning video on this, but I don't know. I've getting sidetracked and we've been busy and I haven't had a chance. All the flower buds are down inside, so when it flowers, you don't really see the bloom. You got to lift some leaves up. But I am noticing now that there's some flower buds growing at the tips now. So we should see a nice show of hibiscus very, very soon. So I might do a pruning video, or I might just leave it the way that it is. This year I think will be the last year for this. I've absolutely lost interest in this plant. There's so many other things that are on the go that are much more exciting, and I think I might try some other varieties of hibiscus. This one is just, I've had it for a while, so it's time to move on. So, and this is my banana planter. This is the dwarf banana, and we've got all of the beautiful petunias growing in here. These are million bells petunias, these ones here. These are a hybrid petunia. I love the shade on this with the white edges. And on the other side, this is absolutely one of my favorites. I love the dark purple with the really, really white edges. Really, really stunning. Let's walk to the other side of this plant and see what it looks like. Just very, very, very striking. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So, and one more planter just over on this side. This is my catch-all pot. It sits in the corner. This is my elephant ear kalanchoe. It's not doing so well this year. I decided to pull it outside because the leaves were getting small and it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. And when I brought it outside, I burned some of the leaves, but the new leaves that are coming out seem to be tolerant of the sun, and things are going well. I will probably end up cutting this back, probably cut it in half, and I will probably end up removing all of the babies from the pot. And in this pot I have tillandsia, an air plant. I've got an agave. I've got a ZZ plant that I started from seed right here, or not from seed, from a leaf cutting. That's probably almost 5 years ago, and it's only this big now. And I've got some burro's tail back in here. I don't know whether you can see it with the glare, but I want to maybe give this a slightly bigger pot and have it only this plant in the pot, so it doesn't have to compete for anything. So anyway, that was all the plants that are in the backyard, and I think I've taken up enough of your time. This has been probably 20 minutes or more, so hope you enjoyed, and show me your garden. I really want to see that stuff. You guys are so creative, I love it. Anyway, happy growing. I'm sure I don't really need to, but I will anyway. So I'm going to take my paper bag. I'm going to wrestle up